doesn't self-love sound way more exciting than burnout? Enneagram 2s, this video is for you if you're a little bit tired. I'm excited to tell you 3 ways that I healed myself. The first way I healed myself was during phone calls. I realized that during phone calls where I was taking in phone calls for my work, where there were a lot of emotional customers, and of course my awareness was more with them and their issues and their displays of their thoughts, and completely being aware of their emotional states, coming at you as a person. I have healed myself through taking a break in between and doing a 3-minute mindfulness meditation where I had to check in with myself, like my own breath, and then the sensations in my body, my own emotions, and also my physical needs, as well as my own thinking. So giving it just a minute of my thought would just snap me back into doing actions that align with healing myself. So as an example, then I realized, oh, I need to have a drink because I'm thirsty. Very simple way to heal yourself. Or, oh, that person was having, a whole set of problems and drama, but I think I'm actually fine today. I'm having a good day, and I actually, after work I'm going for a walk, and I'm actually pretty excited about that. So mentally, I'm actually fine. I don't have the problem they do. And sort of creating that healing space between yourself instead of just constantly, ruminating over someone else's issues, which isn't healthy or helpful or useful. So yeah. And the second way I healed myself was in a scenario where there was a family member who was really upset about something. I don't even recall what she was upset about, but there was an upset. As an Enneagram 2, your awareness is there with the other person and the situation they create in the building, in your family unit, everything. And there was 1 minute I realized, like, what can I do to heal myself? And I was like, I don't think it's healthy to be in this stuck with this family member this way. So I realized, like, I think it would be really good for me, for my health, both physically as it's my passion, an expression of my passion, and it fills up my cup, as well as mentally. I find it really interesting to keep the flow of my own life going and a healthy decision. So what I did is I chose a walk. And so I got myself out of that situation with the family, and I was just going for a walk. And when I came back, I felt refreshed, I felt energized, and it was just like, oh, she's just going through something, and it will probably be resolved in an hour, and I don't have to be stuck in that with this person. So that created a lot of space to create healthy movement and freedom of choice. Like, what do I want to do? What do I need? So that was really making me feel really great. And third way that I healed myself and chose self-love was I say prayers every day. And I decided one day, like, I was realizing, like, there was something going on at work. It was with someone very distant from me, so it was just some random lady, but it got to me, and I was still walking around with the emotional residue of that situation. Like, I felt kind of sad the next day and the day after that. I was like, that doesn't feel comfortable to me. Internally I was just like a little bit shaken by what happened a few days before. And then I decided, like, what, I'm gonna say prayers for myself, for someone that I love, but let's change it up a little bit and also take this lady, this customer at work into consideration. And so I did say a prayer. And what happened is that, as an Enneagram 2, when you connect to something bigger than yourself, like whatever it is that your beliefs or you feel connected to, it's a very personal thing. But what happened for me is I felt like, almost like, through prayer and through, things that are more abstract and invisible in life itself, the mysteries of life, in some sort of mysterious way, I felt like what that lady must have been experiencing. And what that gave me is a lot of space to both have empathy for her as well as myself. So I was like, well, you know, it's just an experiment, but I'm just going to say a prayer for her, and I'm going to not feel responsible. Like the load is off my shoulders, and I'm going to release it to something outside of myself in life, you know. So yeah, I think I instantly felt some information from the abstract world. And what happened a few days later, I ran into this lady again, and she was acting like she was my best friend. And she was still to this day very friendly to me. And she was also telling me a story about how she has a chronic illness, and that causes her to have special needs, and those needs weren't met. So that's why she was lashing out at people that weren't providing those needs to be met for her. It was like this thing that was happening, it had nothing to do with me. It was happening with someone else for years, you know. So it just suddenly was, I wasn't the wrong place at the wrong time, so it came into my life. So by offering it up to, you know, something outside of myself, I felt healed, because now I feel like through the whole prayers and the whole, you know, giving it up to God or spirit, information comes back to me that, yeah, she was chronically ill. She was also bullied. So her car tires were out of revenge. Someone was attacking her car and destroying the wheels on her car. And I felt so much empathy and sad for her. And, you know, we had a great connection since then on, and just a loving flow of energy. And yeah, we always wave goodbye, and we're friends together. You know, we care about each other. So it's all good now. So I think it's very healing to understand that sometimes, you know, you can just do it in your own way, what feels right to you. Your intuition knows, like, but it can be so healing for yourself to just give it up. Just release it to something outside of yourself and be like, yeah, I don't know, but, you know, if you can help me, I'm going to say a prayer, not just for myself, but also for some difficulty or a difficult situation or person. And so then you allow so much space for something outside of yourself to heal the situation and to provide a solution that you couldn't see with, yeah, the information you had before. So I think that's also important for Enneagram Type 2s to get in touch with that layer. Yeah. In this video, I help Enneagram Type 2s who feel exhausted, outer focused on others, and want relief of stressors. I also help Enneagram Type 2s to get in touch with your own inner wisdom, because your inner wisdom already knows what's good for you. I give a meditation tip, and I help you to understand that every small win is a win in the long term. I also help Enneagram Type 2s, but without wasting time on unproven methods, without too much theory, without overly thinking about stressors too much, or needing to drop something that you absolutely love, because it's okay to do something that you love to get self-love. I'd love to help in this video, Burned But Returned, through the breathing space, the 5 steps, by getting nourished and getting in touch with yourself. Burned but returned. The 5 ways to heal exhaustion as an Enneagram Type 2. Number 1, get in touch with yourself. Number 2, self-love. Number 3, expand your view of life. Number 4, be critical of others. And number 5, long term. So this is a fairly new YouTube channel. So would you mind supporting by subscribing to this YouTube channel? Thank you very much. To get to the first way to heal yourself is through this Venn diagram. There is on the right side ready, set, and action theory. This is called the breathing space meditation. First you get ready to meditate, and you then focus on the breath. Then you focus on number 2, set, which is S for sensations, E for emotions, and T for thoughts. And then again, you breathe, you think about your need, and you take action on that need. This helps when on the left side you see exhaustion, stress, burnout, tiredness, all of these things. But where it overlaps is with a healing is a skill. So when you practice this over and over on repeat to heal yourself, then it's just a great way to develop this skill to deal with when you're exhausted, how to do it. Number 2 is self-love. So I would love to have a dialogue with you about how to trust yourself, because your inner wisdom already knows what is well for you. It's exciting because when you go more inward as an Enneagram type 2 and in touch with yourself, then suddenly, you'd be surprised. I visualize it in my head like those little eggs, chocolate eggs of, I think, the brand Kinder Surprise, with a little surprise toy in there, and you never know what is in there, right? It's a surprise. You're a little bit like that. Like it's exciting. Like, just be curious. Like, oh my God, I have no idea what's in there, and let's see what comes up this time with an interest and excitement about it. I also think it's very self-loving, the idea that you already know within yourself some answers to some questions you have. I think it just so calms your whole body down, your whole nervous system down. So when you're exhausted, just know that you can really, really trust yourself. And especially if there are little things that come up, like little ideas or little like nudges, like, I don't know why, but I'm interested in maybe putting open a window for fresh air, or I don't know why, but I think like something with almond would be good for me right now. And then maybe later you find out that you have a nutritional valuable thing in an almond that you actually need, for example, during the winter time. So that your instinct, your inner wisdom already knew that and was already supporting you to get more energized and nourished. Those are little examples of how that works. So expanding your view of life is super useful for Enneagram Type 2s. You get to experience life on Earth. I mean, think about it, that we're all little people walking on this earth, and we get to have an experience, whatever that may be. Like, isn't that super cool and awesome? Then number 4, critical of others. When you're outer focused on others as an Enneagram Type 2, then please take a mindful pause. Just stop and try this. Brainstorm 3 other ways to respond to the situation to help you with your tiredness, exhaustion, or burnout. So I'm not going to bother you with all types of theories that get too scattered around and like all over the place. What I'm going to tell you, I'm going to cut through all the information that I've been reading for too long and taking in for many, many years. What I know, and what is like one chunk of knowledge that is like incredibly valuable, is that 10 minutes of meditation a day is, for the long term, for your well-being, fantastic. So if you really are tired, exhausted, or burnt out, whatever level you're on, it's whether you feel like it or you're in the mood for it or not, do it every single day, because it's phenomenal for you. Like, it's not like I'm pushing this onto you. I'm just saying, like, we can look at all the available options in life and all the things. But if I cut through all the knowledge that I have, then consistently doing 10-minute meditations a day, do it. It's fantastic. If you want to learn more about that, then read the book Catastrophe of Living by John Kabat-Zinn. It's a very big book, but there's more information from a biology stance. He's a microbiologist who created mindfulness. So yeah, he's developed it, he's improved everything. And the reason why 10 minutes is because if you do it less than that, on a microbiology health level, it's not as effective. And you can also do it longer than that, but the 10-minute mark was over and over and over again with all types of people the sweet spot. So that is super crucial. That, you know, I can give you like a million ideas, but if the only proven method is this, so this is the only theory that really truly matters. In the long term, if this is your whole life, and maybe in one of those moments in your life or multiple moments, you deal with either being tired, exhausted, or burnout. If you think about the long term, your entire life or someone's entire life, then, you know, in that moment, you're in it, right? So it feels like you're in this bubble of ugh. But if you stretch it out over the long term, if you develop small wins and coach yourself to have little small wins, then each win you will take further in your life. So what that means, what that looks like is every small win in the long term matters. And it's super important to understand it, that you're not getting stuck in that particular moment, but that you're like, okay, it doesn't matter. What is the smallest thing that I can do for myself right now, even though I'm tired, exhausted, or burnt out? That small win in the long term, super good. Do it. It's super important to take care of that need. For the program that I've created, the Care There for Enneagram Type 2s, there's a waiting list in the description box below, and you're welcome to join. There's also a way that you could really join, and that is by subscribing this YouTube channel.